Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at the new DC Collectibles 7-inch scale Batman Arkham Knight video game Harley Quinn figure. Now this figure comes packaged in a standardized window box packaging, very similar to what we've seen with other DC Collectible figures. However, it does differ from what we've seen with the previous Batman Arkham video game figures from DC Collectibles. We've got basically kind of a black background borders on the box. You've got the window box with the figure clearly displayed along with the accessories. You've got the Batman, the Arkham Knight logo down below. Off to the side we have the name of the character. Tells us that this is figure number 4 in the series. On the side of the packaging we have this kind of digitally graphic image of the character. The Batman Arkham Knight logo, again the name of the character, and then on the back we have the Batman logo, again that kind of digital graphic of the character, and then other figures in the first series. So we've got Batman, Arkham Knight, Scarecrow, which we looked at yesterday, and Harley Quinn. And we'll be looking at the Batman figure probably on Thursday. Then down below it tells us that the figures are sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging, and I think DC Collectibles has done a really nice job on this figure with the sculpting and the articulation, and we get a decent number of accessories with this figure. So we'll start off and we'll take a look at each of the accessories that come with it. So the first thing that she has is this bat, like we see her holding in much of the promo art for the video game. So I assume this is something that she uses frequently in the game. And it's done with like a wood almost type color for most of it. And then it's got this red stripe going around it and up at the top. And it's got some washwork to kind of give it that almost kind of wood bat look to it. And it's got a little knob at the end and everything, so it looks pretty good. And she can hold it in either hand, and she holds it pretty tight. And again, you see her holding this in much of the artwork or screenshots that I've seen for the video game. So, and then she comes with this jack in the box, and it doesn't do much. It's got a little knob that you can turn, but it doesn't really do anything. Then it's got this clown head on this spring, so it kind of wobbles, but you can't like push it into the box or anything. So, and really, I mean, you can kind of get her to hold it, like set it on her hands to hold it, but it's again not really a whole lot that she can do with this, from what I can tell. A nice detailing though on the box. It's done in like a bronze metallic color with some maroon painted on the border work of it, and then even like on the top there's some nice detailing on the sculpting for this. And then the clown head again is pretty nice vibrant red and nicely detailed. She comes with a pistol. And this is just a basic pistol done in your kind of metallic gun color, a little bit darker color on the handle. Overall decent sculpting on it. And again, she can hold it in either hand, though she has an actual kind of trigger finger for her right hand, so that's the best hand to get her to hold the weapon or hold the gun. She also comes with, I'm not exactly sure what this is. It looks like maybe some kind of strange blade or something, but I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of a gray color with some blue painted on there. And then it's got this little thing, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a cap or if it's supposed to be it's like kind of a grooved little circle on the end, and almost looks like it's supposed to fit onto something. But again, I'm really not sure what this is supposed to be. She can kind of hold it in her hand, so if it is like a blade or something, I guess she can hold it, or if maybe it's a bottle of some kind, I don't know. Again, I really don't know what this is supposed to be. And then finally she comes with an extra pair of hands. Now honestly, these almost seem kind of repetitive. She has another hand that she can, for a right hand, that you can take off. So I guess if you didn't want that trigger finger out, you can replace it with this extra hand, and she can hold like the bat with it. But again, the other hand that comes on the figure holds all the stuff, so it's not really much need for it, other than, like I said, if you don't want that kind of trigger finger sticking out, I guess that would be a reason to switch it. And then for the left hand, she comes with just an open hand. So again, not a whole lot you can do with this hand, but if you just want her to have an open hand position, they've given you that extra hand. So the overall detailing with the sculpt and the paint applications are pretty good on this figure. No noticeable paint errors on the figure. The hair is just that blonde color hair with some wash work in it, and then on the tips of her ponytails she's got one that's dipped in red and one that's dipped in kind of a darker color, similar to what we've seen with the other Harley Quinn figures released. Very similar to this previously released Arkham figure. Though I like the head sculpt on this one. The face, I think, is better looking for this one. And she's got kind of the white makeup on with the dark red lipstick. And she's got some, it looks like she's kind of some blush on her cheeks. So again, I like the face sculpt on this figure, and I think it comes off looking really good. It's probably the best face sculpt at least out of the Harley Quinn figures that I have from DC Collectibles. Then she's got this kind of dress outfit on. Very similar. We looked at the 3 1/4 inch version or 4 inch version from Mattel, the Multiverse line, and so actually the design and everything is very similar between the two figures. So, even though this is only a 4 inch scale, it actually looks very similar to this 7 inch scale figure. And she's got some cleavage showing. Now I will say my only somewhat mild complaint is their skin tones are a little bit too kind of not red, but kind of that orangey effect that sometimes you see, and so that would be my only complaint with the paint applications, is I think the skin tone is a little bit off, but it's not anything drastic. She's got some for the white on her costume, they've done some wash effects on it to give it kind of like a almost dirty kind of look. She's got rings and straps on her outfit sculpted on there. Then the dress itself is just kind of the soft vinyl material, and it looks pretty good. So again, overall sculpting and everything on this figure I think is pretty solid. She's got the little diamond pattern on her legs, and then the little tiny diamonds sculpted on her leg over her knees. Again, very similar to what we saw with that 4 inch version. So the figure stands at about 6 3/4 inches tall, maybe a little bit taller than that. She is a bit shorter than the Scarecrow figure in this line that we looked at yesterday. Now I don't yet have my Arkham Knight Batman figure to give you a comparison, but when we look at that figure later in the week, I'll show you a comparison between Harley and that Batman figure. But here she is next to one of the previous Arkham Batman figures from DC Collectibles, and they're roughly about the same height. Again, with Batman's ears, he's a little bit taller, but they stand about the same height. And then she's a bit taller than previous Arkham Harley figures from DC Collectibles. And then here she is next to her dearly departed Mr. J, and the Joker. This DC Collectible version of the Joker is taller. Articulation on this figure is pretty nice. This is probably one of the nicer articulated Harley Quinn figures that DC Collectibles has done. So the head is on a ball joint, so she can look left and right, and she has some up and down movement, and she can kind of pivot to the left and to the right. So good movement at the head. The arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joints. Now with the way the shoulders are sculpted with the dress, it does keep her from lifting her arms completely out straight, but still she gets pretty good. She can get them out pretty good. And then she's got good rotation there. She has a swivel at the elbow, and there's a single hinged elbow, so she can bend her elbow about that much. And then she has swivel and hinges on the hands, so she's got some up and down movement. Now with the way the sleeves are sculpted, they kind of come up over the wrists, so it does limit some of the up and down movement, but but still she does have those hinges, so that's pretty good. And both sets of hands have the hinges. She has a midsection rotation joint, really no ab crunch there, but she does have the rotation at the midsection. Then the legs are attached with ball joints, and again, it looks like they've used some pretty sturdy joints, not those clear joints, so I don't think you'll have to worry about breakage. Now with the skirt, it does limit somewhat how far out she can get her legs. She can do the splits about that much. She does have a thigh swivel up high, and then she has double jointed knees. So she's got good bending at the knees. She has a swivel at the boot cuff. And then she also has ankle pivot, so she's got good movement there at the bottom, which is really nice. I think this is the first Harley Quinn figure with ankle pivot that DC Collectibles has done. And then she has 2 peg holes on the bottom of her feet. So that's my review. Overall, I think this is a really solid figure. If you're a fan of the Batman Arkham games or a fan of Harley Quinn, then I think you'll definitely want to pick this one up. I think this is in fact probably DC Collectibles' nicest version of Harley Quinn to date. So decent articulation, good paint applications for the most part. Again, I think the skin tone is a little bit off, but it's not horrible, and that's really my only complaint I have with the figure. Decent amount of accessories. Now granted, I don't know what all of them are, and like with the Jack in the Box, you can't do a whole lot with it, but still I like they giving her the bat and the pistol and everything, and even the multiple pair of hands are nice. So this figure is hitting shelves in limited numbers right now. I think you can find it at certain places like maybe GameStop. I ordered mine on Amazon.com. These have not started shipping from Diamond yet, so you're probably not going to find them at your comic book or specialty shops as of yet. They should probably, I'm thinking maybe by the beginning of May, they should start shipping from Diamond, at which point then you should find them anywhere that DC Collectibles are sold. So that's my review. We'll have a full gallery of images of the figure over at toynewseye.com. There's a link in the description below. And as always, we ask, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you're so inclined, please like the video. And until next time, I'll catch you later.